Rangers have been getting smoked by Celtic like Lambert and Butler over the last decade in Scotland. But according to Paul Lambert, Rangers, the Gers, the blue side of Glasgow, must win on Saturday if there is any chance of a title win. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Former Celtic midfielder believes that Rangers must win the final Old Firm game of the season if they've got any chance of title 56. However, he says that it would be a shock for Scottish football if Rangers do indeed pick up the victory. Now, I do see where he's coming from, right? Rangers don't have a good track record against Celtic since 2012. The record has been abysmal. Outside of the COVID season, Rangers' record against Celtic is horrible, especially at Celtic Park. So by no means is it going to be easy for Rangers. Celtic are obviously favourites. I think everyone would accept that. They are at home. Now, maybe the only thing going against Celtic is they don't necessarily need to win. A draw would be good for them, whereas anything but a win is a disaster for Rangers. That might give Rangers a little bit of edge mentally, whereas they maybe need it more. But I think most people would say that the likelihood of Rangers winning this match isn't great. But Lambert thinks it would be a shock if Rangers actually went on and beat Celtic at Celtic Park. So when he was asked, can Rangers do it and would it be a shock, Lambert said, quote, "It would be, yes, because in current form, with Rangers' record there, it would be an upset for everybody. Celtic look as if they're bang on it again. They're performing at the right time at this crucial part of the season." End of quote. He then went on to speak about Brendan Rodgers coming in and how he's taken over from Ange Postecoglou. And Lambert went on to say, quote, "He's been brilliant. He's kept a totally calm head with everything that was going on earlier in the season. Rangers had a little bite at it, then blew it and gave it to Celtic again. So I think Brendan has done a fabulous job there. He's come in at a really hard time following the success of Ange Postecoglou and I think he's done brilliantly. I really do." End of quote. I can't agree with that though. I mean, Paul Lambert, to say Brendan Rodgers has done brilliantly, Celtic have had a bang average season by their standards. A bang average season. And if it wasn't for Rangers having Michael Beale at the beginning, there's a very good chance this title would already be wrapped up. I mean, Rodgers has lost a lot of games, and there was a decent part of the season where Celtic fans were not expecting their team to pick up points. I mean, you look at the Hibs game, very fortunate. The Aberdeen game, very fortunate. The Motherwell game, very fortunate. They lost back-to-back games against Kelly and Hearts. So, yeah, no, Celtic have not been great. Now, over the past month, they've begun to pick things up. Ever since they beat Motherwell 2-1, in fact, actually, with that late Adam Adea goal, they have kicked on a little bit and they've got better. But this has not been a good season for Celtic. It's not been a good performance-wise. It's not been great. Results-wise, it's not been great. Recruitment-wise, it's not been great. I mean, it's been all right. It's been okay, and they might actually end up winning a title, but it's not been a fantastic Celtic season, especially when you look at the two seasons that they had under Ange. They were way better than this, so I don't agree that Brendan Rodgers has done a fabulous job. I think that's bullshit. I mean, if you're rating Rodgers on his return to Celtic, knocked out the League Cup by Kilmarnock as well in their first round in the last 16. So, I mean, Europe was shit too. How could you give Rodgers any more than like a 6 out of 10? If you're rating Rodgers' performance since coming back, if you're rating Rodgers this season out of 10, I don't see how you can give him any more than a 6. I mean, possibly a 7 at a push, but to say he's done any more than that is ridiculous. And for Lambert to say he's been fabulous, I don't see. I mean, he must be smoking. He must be on the fags. I don't know, maybe he's the one that fucking made them or something. But that definitely, Rodgers has not been fabulous. Then he spoke about how Celtic have been really good lately, and he says, quote, "I was at the Celtic game against Hearts and they played really, really well and they deserve to win. They're in a really good place at the minute. Rangers will go there and have to win to have any real chance of the title. These games are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Great pressure, great occasions. It's just sad that away fans won't get into the game. It takes away from the spectacle." End of quote. It does. Look, it does take away from the spectacle. It'd be much better if they could go back to the old allocation. But unfortunately, I think that is gone. And if it ever does come back, it's probably going to be gradual. I don't think we'll see those kind of attendances from away fans return for probably if they ever return, it's going to take a long time. It's not like someone's going to click their fingers and you're automatically going to go back to like 8,000 people there. That's just not going to happen. Best case scenario is that maybe season by season, the allocation will maybe get slightly bigger and they'll try and get more away fans into the game. But the chances of just one season somebody clicking their fingers and all of a sudden we've got massive away support fans back at the grounds, it's not going to happen. So yeah, you could be looking at maybe 10, 15 years before we see any sort of real away capacity back at the Old Firm games or any sort of games really in Scotland. So there you go, guys. Paul Lambert, do you agree with him? He thinks it would be a shock for Rangers if they won at Celtic Park. I think Rangers are the underdogs. I wouldn't necessarily say it would be a shock though, considering I just don't think Celtic are that great this season. I think if Rangers turn up and play well, there's no reason why they can't beat Celtic. But yeah, we'll see. And I don't think that Brendan Rodgers is doing a fabulous job. I can't agree with that at all. For me, a fabulous job would be Celtic playing great football. Celtic would have had the league wrapped up already. Celtic would have probably got further in the League Cup. They would have put a dent in Europe. They would have signed better players. Yeah, for me, this is not a fabulous job for Brendan Rodgers. He's doing an okay job. He's doing enough. Okay, he's doing enough, it looks like, to wrap up the title. But even then, it feels like he's been handed it a little bit by Rangers just completely falling apart at the wrong time of the season. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Fabulous job. I'm going to have to disagree. I mean, Rodgers could still end the season with no trophies. How would that be a fabulous job? That would be a fucking disaster. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Paul Lambert, what have you been smoking, son? Till next time, peace.